All right. Well, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, we are live. Welcome, guys. Welcome to our Friday edition lunchtime coffee talk. I've got Angie here. You've probably seen us going back and forth many a times in here over the past weeks, especially during that 30-day business tune-up. Dude, this chick just slayed the heck out of that tune-up, and I'm so excited that she agreed to come on here with me. We had some technical difficulties, so it's totally fine. Here we are, ready to rock and roll with you guys, and can't wait to for you guys to catch us either here live or on the replay. So Angie, tell us a little bit about you, how you kind of fell into this and all that good stuff, so we know who you are, because I know who you are.
So like Lauren said, my name is Angie. I actually have a candle business that I am launching in April, on April 1st, actually. Yes, so excited. It actually came about, really funny story. I work in escalated customer service. I've done customer service the majority of my life.
God love you for that one.
It's oh my goodness.
I couldn't do it. You must be so patient. I worked in retail after college, and it was really hard. Like, it was not easy. I love talking to people. Like, I'm a total people person, but man, it is hard work. But anyway, go ahead.
And it's funny, like I tell people, like customer service, it's very easy to get into, but it is not for the weak at heart. Like you have to be prepared to be beat up all day long. That you did not do. But I took everything that I do in customer service and I kind of paired it with something that actually helps me relax. And it's very crazy because candle making is such a science. And I didn't really know that until I got ready to start pushing it as a business. And I'm like, oh my God, there is so much math. But
so tell me, what makes it a science though? I love candles. Like, ask anybody. I've got about, I don't know, 8 around this apartment.
Oh my goodness.
I love candles.
So you know how you smell the candle before you even light it and there's this scent there? I do. That is something that we call a cold throw. And a cold throw.
Okay.
And to get a good cold throw, your formulas have to be correct. So that means you have to use the right wax for what you're doing. You have to heat it to the right temperature. You have to pour at the right temperature. You have to add your fragrance at the right temperature. Like, if anything is off, you're not going to get it. And even when you get the cold throw together, you have to look at your hot throw. That means the scent that you get when it's actually burning, and that's an entirely different issue.
Oh my gosh. You need to like show us a behind the scenes of like Angie making the candles. I'm like picturing this mad scientist Angie with like thermometers and I don't know, maybe oils and dyes, and I'm not really sure. So that would be actually super fun to let us behind the scenes.
Yes, I will definitely do that for you guys. I actually, a friend, well, not even a friend, someone that I met in a different group, she gifted me with something called a Presto pot that has a spout on it. So to kind of save myself some time, I prep my wax beforehand.
Oh, right on. Hey.
Yeah.
Any little hack you can get.
Yes, definitely. So it's all like right now, my Presto pot is like half full with wax that's already formulated the way that it needs to be. So all I have to do now is go back and add the fragrance to it. Like, and that's it. Add the fragrance and pour it.
Nice. Hey, saving time. If we've learned anything over the last 30 days, anything to save time, right?
Yes.
Oy, oy, oy. Yes. So, okay, I loved the thing that kind of like drew me to what you were doing in the beginning was your story of how you came up with your brand. I thought that was hysterical. And as I see you tackling how to like write offers and whatnot, I think that's like your piece, that people are going to be like, oh, that's funny, So tell people about that. I think it's hysterical. I'm going to go to our comments here.
So, like I said, I work in escalated customer service. We deal with pretty much the high level stuff. So basically for my company, once you've passed normal customer service, you went through the regular management team, you've went through your sales associates, you're not getting what you want, basically. So these are customers that go to social media, they go to the Better Business Bureau, they go to even the Attorney General, and if they even go as far as deciding to file like a small claims court suit, or even if they somehow miraculously find our CEO's email, that comes across my desk.
Whoa.
There's a, on my team, it's a total of 7 of us.
Okay.
And we handle all of that for our company. So across the board, from website orders to chat orders, phone orders, store orders, event orders, we handle all of that. So a lot of times we get cases that come across our desk that are just so crazy. On my team, we have, and I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback here, sorry.
Sorry, I was going to Myra's comments as you were talking. My fault. Keep going. Keep going.
Hey, what did
I was testing you. I was testing you. You gotta love technology. Sometimes it doesn't participate with you. Okay, sorry, Angie. Keep going. I'm that terrible customer.
But yeah, we get these really like outlandish cases where it's just like something so simple, but you get the person on the phone and they're like, for one, they're mad. If they're reaching my desk, I already know they're like at level 20 already. They feel that they're not going to get anything. So the first 10 minutes of my conversation with this person, I already know that I'm sitting on the phone like this. Me trying to get any word in at that point, I know it's like dead in the water. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
When I get finished letting that person, vent, get it off their chest. Like, I want you to get it off your chest because this is going to allow me to help you. But every now and then we'll get that one case where it's just like, no, you don't expect us to do that. That's what you're asking for. Like, you can't ask for $1,000 on a $500 order. That's 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 there.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
So a lot of times, like, to kind of just get us through it, we'll have days. My best friend actually works with me in the same department right next to me, and it's so helpful. But we'll have days where we have guests that are like that, and they go, when I tell you they go in, they go in. And I've had a day where I've had to just kind of step away from my desk and go cry. She's had days where she's had to step away from her desk and go cry. Yeah. And it gets that bad. And our way to kind of just like let it go is I work in customer service. Like, this is what we have to deal with. We knew it going in, but I work in customer service. And when I started thinking about the whole candle business, it came up and I was just like, you know what? I work in customer service.
Oh my gosh, hysterical. Well, okay, let's go to everybody. I know we've got a couple people watching. Let me ask you whether you're watching with us live or on the replay, and let us know with that good old hashtag replay if you're watching after hours of your work. But let us know if you've run into customers like this that Angie is talking about, because I'm sure there's plenty of us who have had that difficult customer, whether you have a product that you're selling, whether you're in coaching, whether you're consulting with companies. Like, let us know that we are not alone, and give us your best smiley face of how that makes you feel during that moment, so we can feel human about this. Drop it in the comments. Let's discuss. All right, keep going, Ange.
So yeah, it's with everything, I I decided to kind of shorten the name because I was like trying to write I work in customer service on everything was going to be crazy. And when I actually shortened it down to just the letters, it worked out perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It came out to I WiCS, which when you think of a candle, you have the wick inside of the candle. The only difference is there's no K. So I was like, this is perfect.
Totally.
And so I took it a step further. I was going to just do like most people do and just name the candles after the scents. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just completely just dive directly into this whole customer service aspect of this. So I decided to name each candle after a customer service issue that most customer service reps deal with.
Okay. Well, tell us those names because I think they're hysterical. I think this whole thing is just hysterical. I don't know.
So I have, right now I only have 5, but they are named, I want to speak to your manager. Where's the order? Where's my refund? This could have been an email and I'm going to write a review.
That's hysterical. Oh my gosh. I mean, those are all so common. There's got to be plenty others that you're going to be able to expand your line. I'm sure you have like a whole list of them.
Yes, I do. And I know that I had talked to you once before. I was thinking about kind of venturing off into doing something totally different as far as the second line goes. I was going to do like alcohol-based line because it was going to kind of pull from me having the gastric sleeve surgery because I can't really drink like that. Right. And just kind of talking it over with my best friend and kind of getting the idea out there to some people at my job, they was like, this is really funny. And I was kind of very skeptical about letting some of the management team hear about it, as I was like, I have no idea how this is going to be received. And they were reading it and they fell out laughing. They was like, this is hilarious.
Hey, you guys are like in it together all the time, right? Yes. I mean, what nobody wants to say you guys are totally talking about.
Right. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm still going to keep the sense of the alcohol baseline that I was going to do because I really like those, but I'm just going to keep going with this whole idea that I have with customer service because you can expand so much on everything that goes on. Like the ones that I have now are very generic, very general kind of overall, but you can break that down even more. And there's so many things that I have like going on and I have in my notebook. What I tell my friend is I'm going to parking lot that idea.
Oh, I like that. Parking lot, that idea. Oh, I like that. I usually say, all right, let's take the good idea fairy and lock her back in the tower. But I like that one.
Yes. So I told my friend, I was like, my parking lot is full right now. And I think I need to open more spaces.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. I love it.
So I'm super excited about it. There's been so much. I finally, after like 4 revisions, like nailed down my labels for my candles. I changed them so many times because I'm a perfectionist, unfortunately.
Right.
When I got to a point where the label that I originally wanted, I couldn't get it. I was really upset because when I put it on the jars, it started bubbling around the corners and I was like, this is not cute at all.
That's nasty. Yeah.
So I changed it to something else. And I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm going to go to our commenters, see if Myra answered me. Oh, she didn't. I'm going to go to my phone. Sometimes it doesn't give me real time, guys, which is totally fine. Oh, all right. So, Myra agrees. Behind the scenes is an amazing idea. I know, right? Wouldn't that be such a fun idea? To see Angie in the kitchen. I'm just talking to Myra says behind the scenes is an amazing idea. I'm saying, yeah.
And actually, I might be able to do that for you guys this weekend if my daughter's birthday party doesn't get like super crazy.
Oh no. Well, happy birthday to her and you, of course. That's so fun. Well, let us know, like come in the group and let us know where we can find your behind the scenes.
Yes.
For sure.
Definitely. I will definitely get that together for you guys. I've been doing like little snippets trying to get like content together for social media, but I've been venturing into YouTube a little bit more. So I'm trying to kind of get myself more acclimated to doing videos without the social anxiety.
This isn't too bad, right? It's not, you just talking to the people, just talking to the people about what you do and not overthinking it. Like sometimes, I don't know about you, but you go into some of these groups and everybody is like just so darn scripted instead of just talking about like what they're doing, why they're doing it, like, and being excited about it, right? If we can't be excited about what we're doing, then what the heck are we doing? You know?
Right.
I mean, like be goofy, be your authentic self, make mistakes. I mean, heck, I have like coffee in every shot that I do. People have told me like, do you have like a coffee addiction? No, this is what I do. This is me. Like, like that should be the smallest problem you have with me.
Right.
But it's, I mean, I think build up our own like anxiety when we're doing these.
We do.
And like, yeah, make mistakes, you know? People are going to be like, oh, this is a real person I'm dealing with, you know? And people will totally appreciate that, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely have to get over it, and it's crazy because even growing up, I was always like this. Like I'm an introvert at heart. Like I don't have a phobia of being around a lot of people. I just get super bad anxiety getting around a lot of people at one time. I hate grocery shopping for that very reason. I don't like clothes shopping for that very reason. It's like it's too many people in one place. I don't want to do it. I'm good. I'm okay. I've been asking my boss for the last year, can she please put me in a room with no windows that's perfectly dark? I'm okay. I can work there. She keeps telling me no. So
telling me no. Well, it's probably because she needs you at the forefront because there's so many angry customers.
You sound like her now.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, okay, let me ask you this, because I know that I had posted something, I think it was last week or maybe the week before, and it kept coming up time and time again with like several different people of just having like that hesitation to go live, or, you know, that fear that there's no one there to talk to. Who cares, right? You guys see me do that, and then you catch me on the replay. And then, or, you know, a week later, I know Heather does that. She's so funny. She has her schedule and then she comes in like once or twice a week and then just does as much as she can. So like people will definitely catch you either then or later. So like, what would you tell people, you know, now that you're doing this, given, you know, agreeing to do this with me?
I guess you just have to kind of get out of your own head. Like, honestly, that's the biggest thing. And I actually had this conversation with a friend of mine about me doing lives and things like that. And it kind of just goes back to that social anxiety. Like, you have to just, like I say, just get out of your head. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to go back and say, you know, say something, go back and correct yourself. And I can kind of relate it to what I do on a day-to-day basis. Like I'm on a call with a customer and I don't have, you know, a moment to just really like script out everything that I'm going to say. Because going into a call, I do have some leeway now with my position that I can kind of get my thoughts together before I call this person. So I'm not in an inbound queue. But even with me getting on the phone and I'm saying, okay, well, this is their issue. I'm going to offer ABC. They have these choices. This is where it is. I've had several calls where I get ready to go into it to offer ABC, and then they throw an entire wrench in my plans.
Right.
And now I have to like go back and think of this on the spot. Like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that this was part of the problem. So now I know we messed up. This is not a you messed up, we messed up. So now I have to do this all over again on the phone right now, because there is no such thing as, oh, let me give you a call back with these, you know, resolutions. Like I'm having to do this on the spot. Right. So it's a on your feet kind of thing. You have to keep going. If I say something wrong, it's okay. You know, hey, I do apologize. I may have misinterpreted this to you, or didn't explain this correctly. Let me go back and fix this.
No,
So,
totally.
and I think that's why I was like, I'd rather start doing videos first, because I can always go back and edit them.
That is true. That is true. Oh my gosh. My first video, I almost dare not say this, but I will tell you guys, go back to my first video and see the progression of mine. And you guys were probably like, what the hell is she doing? Where did I just land? Okay. True story. That video took me 5 or 6 takes, and I tried to edit it, and I was like, you know what? It's totally fine. I'm just going to put this out there. Right? Like, mistakes and all. And you just gotta do that,
Yeah.
Here I am.
You have to do it. And it's crazy, because even with the YouTube videos that I put up now, and the one that I'm actually currently editing for next week, the first one I had my best friend look at it, and she was like, oh, you did really good. This is what I would do differently, da 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 da. And so she kind of watched parts of the video that I'm editing right now, and she was like, that's so much better.
Totally. Yeah. And we've got to ask each other that. So, I mean, after we go live today, and I'm looking at the comments, make sure nobody's jumping in, but after we go live today, if you want, throw your YouTube link in there. And if you want feedback from the group,
yes, I welcome feedback on everything that I do. I definitely want to be able to show everyone that's kind of been on this journey with me my progress. And then I want to be able to see my progress on, 6 months from now, a year from now. I want to be able to look back and be like, oh, okay, on February 7th, this is what I did, and this is what I'm doing February 7th of 2021.
Right.
Look at, how well I've gotten, how much more comfortable I've gotten in my own skin and doing everything.
Right.
There's been so many changes in the last year alone, not just business, but just with me personally. Just getting used to myself. I did the gastric sleeve surgery, so I've lost a lot of weight. So I'm having to get comfortable in my own skin all over again. I'm doing the whole natural hair thing. So there's
awesome.
There's so many different things that I'm doing at one time. And I'm just, I'm finding out that with me, I don't know if it's with everybody, but with me personally, I have to throw myself out there, because I will second guess myself until the cows come home. Like, no, maybe not today. Maybe not next week.
Yeah.
Maybe a year from now.
You are not alone. You are totally not alone. And I'm going to go to everybody to prove this. Again, whether you're watching with us now or later, let us know that we're not alone. Give us some love and drop us a heart in the comments, because we've all been there. I remember, like, when I first started my journey, I was like, I'm going to open my own business, like, done with the government, moved to Denver, and I knew how to build businesses for other people, but when you're doing it for yourself, it's a totally different ball game. And if you don't just, that's why I always say in the beginning, strive for progress, not for perfection. I'm a total perfectionist too. I get in my own way. I overthink things. Myra asked me, we were talking yesterday about naming things, and I've been spinning in circles about, and then we got in a conversation. She said, well, can you just give me like what you think pain points? I was like, chick, I could give you like a whole list of 30 things of what my, issues are, over analyzing things, wondering if I'm going to offend people. Like, I literally gave her a list of 20 things, and she was like, huh. I was like, no, dude, like, I can build operational systems and, do marketing campaigns till the sun goes down. But like, getting out of your comfort zone and doing some of these types of things, especially when you're like at an expert level at things, and then you have to like be a beginner at something, it's very humbling, like very humbling. So I think it's been awesome to watch you, at least from where you came into this group. I don't know too much else what happened before, but just from what you're sharing, your journey, you could almost put together like not like a blooper reel, but like something like that in
Yeah.
like a year from now, like my 2020 in review, and just really appreciate, putting yourself out there
Yeah.
and being perfect. you know?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's been so much, and with candles, that's another reason why I like candles, because it's definitely something where you can have the same formula as someone else, but it's so possible for something totally different to happen. And I've experienced it with different batches of candles that I did. And I actually had one batch that of mine, this could have been an email, it's a peach nectar scent. And it's so funny because I got ready to shove out a batch and I was like, all right, I'm going to shove them out so they can start curing. And if you've ever had a soy candle, like a pure soy candle that's been colored, every now and then you can see these little crystals in it.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's called frosting, which is a natural characteristic of soy. So this particular batch that I did all of my batches the exact same way. This one batch of peach nectar decided that it wanted to frost, and it frosted in the weirdest way. It wasn't this ugly frosting just randomly around the jar. It came out so pretty that it looked like it had like pulp in the candle. And I posted it in the candle group that I'm in, and everybody was like, oh no, that's pretty, you should sell it like that, it's great, it's perfect. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm coming to it, I love it, it's perfect. I did the second batch and it didn't do it. And I was like, are you serious? What happened?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, it was like something gone well, but then you're like, oh, how do I do that again?
Right. Replicate this mistake. And to this day, I have not been able to replicate it. I have no idea what I did differently with that one batch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, you know what? I give up. Whatever. I'm going to put these in my one of a kind area on my website when I get ready to sell them.
Yeah.
And just leave it at that. Like, if it happens again, great. But so far, it hasn't happened.
Oh, that's so funny. Go figure, though. Well, I mean, that's like the second time that you've mentioned something like that. One was, when you're on the phone with your customers and having to, think on your feet. And then again, in your like candle business, but if anything, I think that if you have that strong foundation, and I always say this, right? If you have this strong foundation in whatever you're doing, then plans are made to change. Things are going to fall apart. You're going to have, the one of a kind situations or whatever. But if you have those like systems and you have that really strong foundation of like, okay, this is what's up. Oh my gosh, doesn't it make it so much easier?
It does. It does.
Like I'm ready to mess up because it's okay. I know what I'm going to fall back onto, and it's not going to be a huge, to do.
Right.
And it's so funny because people are like, and that's the difference, in the very, very beginning, I had posted something and Conrad jumped in and gave me an interesting perspective just to like how I wrote something. And I was like, oh no, that's true. Taking that leap of faith and just jumping, but also making sure that you have that safety net to catch you, or that foundation, so that you're just not haphazardly, I got this, and you're like faking it to make it, and it just snowballs into this gigantic disaster,
Right.
When those little things happen, like that's exactly what they are. They're just little.
Yep. They are. And I definitely, I love the fact that I had the common sense this time to start doing my planning for my business well in advance. I tried to do a hair business once before, and not gonna lie, it was one of those things. I was like, I just wanted to have my own business. I have no interest in hair whatsoever. I will get mine done and stick it in a ponytail.
Me too.
When I did it, it was one of those things where I wish I would have had something like your 30-day business tune-up in place to kind of get me going, because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just doing random stuff. I would be up till 2 o'clock in the morning fixing the website. There were so many changes. I would have people asking me stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. I had no systems in place whatsoever. And even though it wasn't a passion of mine, if I had some type of systems in place, I probably could have kind of head off a lot of problems that I encountered in the beginning. Right. But I didn't. And so this go around, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give myself time to mess up, give myself time to fix those mess ups, and then put a system in place where I don't mess up again. And
yes.
Yeah. And because of that, it's giving me the opportunity to perfect my formula, because the original formula that I started working with my candles, I thought it was going to be good. And when I got ready to send testers out to my friends, I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like I had to call all of them. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not shipping your stuff out today. Right. I'm not sending this to you.
Yeah, sure.
So it's given me time to just kind of go and, like I said, make those mistakes, fix those mistakes, get things in order. And then your business tune-up has helped me tremendously, because I came into contact with stuff that I didn't even realize that I needed to have in place. And now that I have them in place, I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense now. Like, I know what to do if this comes up. You know?
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
You are definitely welcome. Like, it's been such a blessing. Like, I've told several friends of mine that have thought about starting their own business, and are in the process of starting their business and things like that. And I'm like, hey, when you get ready, let me know, because I'm going to send you here. And trust me, it may seem tedious at first, but it's going to help you.
And that's the thing. It's like these little things that you're just like, man, I don't need it. Like, I caught myself, something as simple as tracking receipts for your taxes, like, I do operations, but I found myself in October, like, oh my gosh, my stuff's everywhere. It's in an email, it's here, it's there. And I was like, what? I'm not even practicing what I preach anymore, So really just being honest with yourself. And I mean, they are tedious little things, but they make, over time, you're gonna be able to, like the dye that you found, that cracked me up.
Yes.
Like, day two, and you're like, I found the dye. I missed out on making candles. I was like, check. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just stick with it.
I did myself. Like, I told the kids, I was like, where is it? I know I had a whole pack. And they was like, well, maybe you used it all. And I was like, I guess I did. So now I can't make candles. And as I start organizing, I'm like, really? And it's all because I had it somewhere that it had no business being.
It's so true. You can be like a master at your craft, but these little things. And that's the whole thing. Like, we see people throwing out there, oh, I'm a 6-figure this, or I'm a 7-figure this, or blah, 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 right? Which is fine. But like, they don't talk about how they probably have a foundation that made them scalable, right? Yes. They just didn't wake up and was like, I made 7 figures today, but it's really these little nitty gritty things. And, you can then take the system that you have and then evolve it into like next level with, automations and integrations and all that really, really fun stuff, so that you can be on the forefront of your brand, promoting it and doing YouTube videos and everything else. And then everything else is just like running on autopilot, and everybody's like, how does Angie do it?
Yeah. Definitely my goal. I've automated my social media, and I actually need to sit down next weekend and start getting March's social media content ready to go. But that has been such a big help, because at first I didn't have that. So I was going in every day and I was like, okay, this and this. And then when you and I had the conversation about kind of changing my wording on things, and then we did the copyright exercise, that helped so much. And I've seen such a big change since then. With just the simple changing of the wording and changing how I'm putting it out there. And I went from posting an ad and getting maybe like 10 likes out of it, no shares, no engagement, no anything, to changing everything on it, putting it out there, how you like to say it, in my audience's voice. And it made such a big difference. And my page following skyrocketed, my engagement skyrocketed. The last time I think I looked, I had like 20 shares on that one ad, and I was just like,
awesome.
Wow. It's such a big change, and I'm welcoming it. I'm falling headfirst into it and just going forward with it. And I'm definitely just excited for everything that's to come, and hoping to be able to kind of automate some other things so that I can focus on the candle aspect of it, because that is the part where I love it. I really and truly do.
Yeah. Well, this is what I challenge you with, because in the offer day, I don't know what day it was, last week, Sunday, you put a line and I was like, not quite, yes. Right? I want you to go back and I want you to watch our live today, okay? And in the beginning, when you talk about how you got started and who you're serving and why you're doing it and all those pieces that you just lit up about, chick, that's your offer. Okay.
Got it.
So use this as your resource now that you've got, that momentum going, and go back, and all that excitement, when you start getting excited about something, when you're talking about it, that's it. That's totally it. People are going to relate to you, they're going to get excited with you. They're going to want to be like, oh, that is funny. They're going to laugh with you. And I could only imagine like this behind the scenes video, people are going to be like, oh, that's hysterical. People want to laugh. They want to be part of something, like a culture, right? That's positive, that's real and authentic. So I challenge you to do that after today, over the weekend, whenever you have time. I know you got the birthday party this weekend. But go back and really challenge yourself to take those snippets and then build that into your offer of the, I XYZ because XYZ, It's going to be different because you have a product and not so much a service. Right. So all those like very generic formula lines that you see in people's headlines, that's not you. But you do it in your own style based off of the excitement of how you told us in the very beginning.
Yes.
And people will totally follow that. And the more you do that, the more people are like, oh, go check this out. This is funny, So I totally challenge you to do that. All right. Well, give us some parting thoughts as to the good, bad, and ugly of it, doing a live or starting a business or whatever you want to leave us with.
So the good is, honestly, for me, it's a matter of being able to say that I'm doing something, I'm accomplishing something that I want to do and that I'm setting out for myself to do. Setting those goals and watching myself reach them time and time again. That is definitely the good. The bad is you have to allow yourself to fail. You have to allow it. And I know it's such a taboo thing to do, like, oh, you failed, and nobody wants to talk about the failures, but you have to address those failures. You have to. If you don't, you can't grow from them. And sometimes addressing them privately does you no good. Because you're not really at a position when you're so ramped up and revved up to start your own business. You're not really in the headspace of holding yourself fully accountable. So when you have that person and you're able to kind of bounce ideas off of them and you're able to tell them, hey, I tried this, it didn't work. So when you get ready to start doing it again, they can see like, okay, hey, you're kind of going back into that same thing you were doing that caused you to fail the first time. Let's go back and think about it. And my best friend is definitely my accountability partner. And I've ran to her with stuff and she's like, hey, reel it back. Really
that person. Yes. You totally do, to be like in the most caring, nicest way possible.
Yes.
I don't think so.
And I would have to say the ugly of starting a business, and it kind of goes into doing the lives to me, is your comfort zone is not your friend. It is not your friend. You have to break those barriers. You have to list out everything that you know you don't like to do and the things that you don't want to do, and do them. Honestly, those are really the things that I kind of tackle first with my business, and even with my job. I list out everything I know that I don't want to do, and I do those first and get them out of the way. And then me doing everything else that I want to do, it's kind of my own personal reward. So even as much as like doing this live, doing my videos, just getting out there in social media, like I told you before, I'm not a big social media person. If you look at my personal page, it's mostly me sharing other people's stuff. I don't really engage with a lot of people like that. I just don't. It's never been me. So that's definitely the ugly. You are your own worst enemy, unfortunately, and you can stop yourself from so much progress. But once you're able to break that, and you're able to break past that comfort zone barrier where you're like, okay, I know this makes me uncomfortable, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Right.
The sky is not your limit at all. And that is my new motto for myself. You know, you grow up and people tell you, oh, the sky is the limit, the sky is the limit. No, you know what? No, that is not my limit, because the sky is my comfort zone. That's my comfort zone. So me doing this today, this is breaking that barrier for me when it comes to live videos, because I know the first time you asked me, I was like, I'm not ready.
I'm like, okay, all right, we'll revisit this. I think I gave you what, like another 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, that post was for you, and you took it. So I was like, there she is.
Yeah, and it's all coming together, and even just breaking out of my comfort zone as far as talking to new people has opened me up to so many people that have blessed me in my business and starting my business. Like I said, the lady that got me the Presto Pie, it was simply because I put myself out there. I put my story out there, what I was trying to do. And actually the shelf that you see here, he got me this too.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yes, so I have 2 shelves, and I have one that I have my actual candles on, and I have this one, and then the Presto Pot. And then with your Freebie Friday, you know, just putting myself out there, I was able to get my inserts that I want to use for my orders. You just have to break those barriers, and it will open up so many doors for you that you didn't even know were available to you. There are people coming to me that want to help me, that when they're like approaching me, and I'm just like, oh, this happens?
Yeah. And you know, you bring up a good point, because sometimes you go into these groups and you think people are posting because they really want to authentically help you, right? And then all of a sudden they're just selling you stuff, and you're just like, I don't have time for this. I just need some help, right? And I think that's one of the fun parts of why I was like, I'm starting this group, because I'm tired of that, you know? And I think that our little community here does a good job of that, of really like, I need this, or, you know, put my 2 cents there, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And some days we ramp up more than others, which is totally fine, because we've all got our crazy lives. But just being able to have a community where you can just like really, then that's why I do winning together. You know, if we could all just ask for help and authentically, with no strings attached, just help each other. Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
That was perfect.
I know the world's not perfect, but I can have that like fairy tale in my head, right?
Yes.
Too funny, too funny. All right, Chica. Well, I loved having you on today's lunchtime coffee talk. That is our February coffee talk. I'm so super stoked. It's my second coffee talk that I've had someone here. So you are my second guest. Thank you for agreeing to come on here. I know, I love how excited you are, and like just it's so calm and just fun. Your energy is awesome. So keep that going. I'm so excited to, you know, be part of your journey in this group with all of us. And hey, come in here, let us know how we can help you. And don't forget to drop your YouTube link in here so we can give you some feedback. Yes. And if there's anything else, I mean, guys, whether it's Angie or whether it's you and you want somebody to look at your stuff, you can do it here, no strings attached. Let's all just be honest with each other and keep this going. I will tell you guys that I am doing some things behind the scenes in this group. This, like I told you, was my first group. And after leaving the government, I had to come back into the online world. So sometimes you have to readjust, right? So I'm so excited in the next couple of weeks to do a pseudo relaunch in here. Same idea. We're totally going to be building businesses, but it's going to be, I'm telling you guys to niche down. I need to take my own advice. So we're going to do that in here and really focus in on some particulars and really just get you guys, you know, rocking and rolling with more stuff. And it's going to be a funny name. So no one get offended. Okay. It comes from a good place. And, and that's it, guys. So happy Friday. Oh, be out on the lookout for today's Freebie Friday. It's a good one. So thank you again, Angie. And by all means, everyone, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Anything you got, Ange, before we go?
Nope, that's it. You guys enjoy. I get to go play with a bunch of little girls this weekend, so.
Well, have fun. All right.
Happy having me. This was very fun.
On to bigger and better videos now.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. All right. Adios for now, Chica.
All right, bye.
Bye.